Am Yisrael keeps the Torah. Not only that, the Torah was given to govern the entire world. There are Sheva Mitzvos B'nai Noach. We do not recognize international law, and neither should our Batidin, and neither should the Gentiles. They were given the Torah, and that is the only thing that binds them. People talk about international law and ethics and war crimes and all that stuff. There's nothing farther from the emes. We were given the Torah, and we were supposed to teach the Gentiles how to keep the Sheva Mitzvos. This made-up international law is nonsense. Okay, get that out of your heads. Okay, so and also, why should we care what Gentiles think? It was someone who was saying abroad. Look in your history books. Did it help what the Gentiles thought during the Holocaust? Did anybody step in? Even the Americans or Russians who were fighting Nazi Germany, did they give a hoot about what was going on in the Holocaust? The answer, of course, is no. They were basically passive about it. They could almost be considered as complicit in that facet. The only reason the Holocaust came to an end, how concentration camps were liberated, was because they conquered Nazi Germany, and the Russians retook Poland. Mamela, they let them out. But that if that hadn't been their military objective to destroy Nazi Germany, then they would have let the Holocaust happen. And like has been pointed out many times in history, the British and the Americans could save many bombers for Dresden, but not for Auschwitz. I should just go and show you what they think. No nation, we do not believe this in our Torah. No nation has responsibility to another nation. If there's a genocide going on in one place, that's terrible. But we can't say, for example, that perhaps the Parthians back in the day should have intervened when the Romans were crushing the Great Revolt in the 1st century, and the Shmad and the Bar Kokhba revolt in the 2nd century. Yeah, those were basically holocausts at those times. We do not fault any nation on earth for not helping Am Yisrael. We only fault Am Yisrael for not keeping the commandments and saving themselves. Okay? Am Yisrael is supposed to appeal to God and also fight back in every generation. That's called the Milchemes Mitzvah. Saving Am Yisrael is a Milchemes Mitzvah. And if there's a Holocaust going on, or an intended Holocaust like we saw last week, the mitzvah is to fight back. Put trust in God and fight back. But you can't say, well, just trust in God and don't fight back, or fight back without God. Neither work. You have to do it both. So, what about what's going on in the mass media and all that? Some good goyim abroad realize the truth from what they're sown. Some don't care. Some hate us also with a vengeance, as you've seen. And even among the first group, those who are starting to realize the truth, they'll fall back into their usual stupor where they don't care about Am Yisrael relatively soon, and they'll fall even faster once Hollywood and the photography people, photography FAUX, get in, start doing what they do to show images, their doctored images of them killing their own children, and that'll certainly sway public opinion around the world against Am Yisrael. So we should just not care about them. I wrote something a few years ago about manipulative human sacrifice in the Bible. What are we talking about? It's mentioned in the 2nd book of Kings. There was a war. This is in Kings 3, when Ahab died. So the 10 tribes basically kept Moab as their vassal. The Moabites paid tribute to the Omeride kings of Israel. The Edomites were vassals of the kings of Judah. And there was a little bit of a rebellion there. Mesha, after the death of Achav, who was a powerful king, he had been killed in battle with the Aramites, or the Arameans. And Mesha, king of Moab, who was well attested to in history, decided it was time to rebel against the Israelites. And he was basically had his back to the wall. What happened was that the people of Israel and the people of Judah, kings Yehoram and King Yehoshaphat of Judah, took their vassal, the king of Edom, and his army, and they went to attack Moab to put down this rebellion. And when when Mesha saw that things were getting really tight, he basically killed his own son and made him as a pagan sacrifice on the walls. He showed them they slaughtered his own son and burned him on an altar there. And that basically got the Edomites against the Jews, which doesn't make any sense. So the Moabites killing themselves, and suddenly the Edomites don't like what the Jews have brought upon themselves. Yeah, that's what happens. You're going to see in Gaza, they're going to kill themselves. The Gazans, the worst bad guys in Gaza are holding their own people captive, not letting them escape, and they're trying to maximize the death of their own people, just so that other goyim get upset at Jews. That has been going on for thousands of years. It's attested to in the Bible. Remember, whenever you have a story like this in the Tanakh, it's because we're supposed to learn a lesson from it, and it's timeless. It means it happened once, and it's going to happen again.